Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss regarding the next topic, that is semi-empirical mass formula. Already in the last class we discussed regarding the liquid drop model. Okay, liquid drop model, properties, assumptions and merits and demerits. Okay, that is one part. This is the second part. Actually in the last class I said that how the question will be asked. Explain the liquid drop model and obtain the semi-empirical mass formula. So, in the last class we saw only first part, that is properties of liquid drop model and assumptions and merits and demerits. Today we are going to discuss regarding the semi-empirical mass formula. What is semi-empirical mass formula? See, in the year 1935, von Weizsäcker, in the year 1935, he given the mass of the nuclei. Okay, he given the mass of the nuclei in terms of series of binding energy correction terms. Okay, see, we know that mass of the nuclide or mass of the nucleus is what? It is sum of the protons mass and sum of the neutrons mass, isn't it? ZMA is the mass of the nuclei. We can represent any nuclei in terms of ZXA, where X is the element, Z is the number of protons, A is the mass number. This is the general representation of any nucleus or any nuclide. For example, helium, the atomic number is 2 and mass number is 4. 2 helium 4. This is the general representation of what? A nuclide. Okay. Here ZMA is the actual mass of the nuclide. Actual mass of the nuclide. ZMA is what? Actual mass of the nuclide. How much it will be? We know that what is the mass of the nucleus? What is the mass of the nucleus? It is the mass of total protons mass plus total neutrons mass. Isn't it? Total neutrons mass. ZMP plus NMN. Z is nothing but what? Number of protons. Number of protons into mass of each proton will give total protons mass. Okay. Similarly, N is nothing but what? Number of neutrons. Mn is what? Mass of each neutron. So mass of each neutron into total number of neutrons will give total mass of neutrons. So sum of the protons plus sum of the neutrons mass will give total mass of the nucleus, isn't it? But according to von Weizsäcker, okay, whatever the actual mass of the nucleus is not correct. Okay, there is some energy correction term, the binding energy correction term. It should be, there is some correction in the actual mass of the nucleus. There is a correction in the actual mass of the nucleus. Actually, the total mass is not this much, but there is a correction term minus EB. This EB is what? Binding energy correction term. There are the series of energy correction terms. Okay, we will discuss those and we will obtain the value of EBF. Actual mass is what? We know that this much, but there is a correction term. Whatever the actual mass we are seeing is not correct. There is some correction. There should be a need of correction in the mass of nucleus. So that correction term is given by von Weizsäcker in the year 1935. That correction term is what? EB. EB is what? Our binding energy correction term. EB is what? Binding energy correction term. That should be obtained. Okay, the value of this here, you know that whatever the mass of the nucleus is given by ZMP plus NMN minus EB. This EB value should be, we have to calculate. We know this value, but we have to calculate EB. That is binding energy correction term. That binding energy correction term is given by, okay, EB is equal to EB plus ES plus EC plus ER plus EB. Okay, this is the series of correction terms. EB, volume energy correction term. ES, surface energy correction term. And EC, Coulomb energy correction term. ER, asymmetry energy correction term. EP, pairing energy correction term. Like that, by adding all this correct series of energy correction terms, we will get EB value. That value is, after obtaining that value, substituting this equation 1, we will get the actual mass of the nuclide. Actual mass of the nuclide or actual mass of the nucleus. So this is what that formula is what our semi-empirical mass formula. Okay, here the energy term is represented in terms of your mass units. Okay, we know that we can convert the mass into energy. Okay, already we discussed in the previous classes. Atomic mass unit, one atomic mass unit is equal to how much? 931 million electron volt. Nothing but what? We can convert mass into energy. Here we are converting energy into mass in the terms of mass units, EB. So here we are going to find what? Each and every correction term, EB, ES, EC, ER and EP. After finding those values, substitute that values in the equation 1, we will get the semi-empirical mass formula. Okay, so let us go for the first one. That is what? EB, volume energy correction term. Okay, volume energy correction term. EB is equal to volume energy correction term. First one we have volume energy correction term. Volume energy correction term. Okay, so volume energy correction term is given by EB. See, what is volume energy actually? See, whatever the here binding energy correction term, we are calling binding energy correction term. In the protons and neutrons present in the nucleus, whatever the protons and neutrons present in the nucleus, okay, there is some due to some reasons the binding energy will be varies. Now here, as the number of nucleons in the nucleus increases, the binding energy increases. The unity. If the number of protons and neutrons increases in the nucleus, automatically the binding energy will be increases. Nothing but what? The volume energy. Nothing but what? If number of protons and neutrons will be increased, the volume will be increases. So if the volume increases, automatically what happens? Binding energy of the volume, that is volume energy term will be increases. So the energy EB is directly proportional to number of nucleons. If the number of nucleons increases, the mass number increases. Nothing but what? The volume of the nucleus will be increases and the binding energy also increases. So EB is directly proportional to mass number A, that is number of nucleons. Number of nucleons. So EB is directly proportional to A. EB is equal to some AB. Where AB is what? Proportionality constant. Where AB is what? Proportionality constant. Okay. So what does it mean? As the volume, nothing but number of protons and neutrons, nothing but nucleons increases, its binding energy increases. That is volume energy term. Okay, it will be positive value. Okay, it will be contribute positive value to the EB. So EB is equal to ABA. So this is our first one. EB is equal to how much we got? AB into A. This is the first one. Okay, so write down those values here. Okay, EB, first one we got the value. Okay, EB is equal to how much? EB is equal to how much we got? ABA. Okay, this is the first one. Next we have second one is what? Our surface energy term. Surface energy term. Okay, surface energy term. See, the number of nucleons present on the surface, okay, will be attracted from only one side. Already in the last class we discussed the properties of the nucleus, isn't it? In the properties of the nucleus we said that the binding energy of the nucleons present inside the nucleus are more compared to the binding energy of the nucleus on the surface of the nucleus, isn't it? So here, so the surface energy term, whatever surface energy term, ES is directly proportional to the, see here, whatever the surface, the nucleons present on the surface will be attracted only from one side. Okay, whatever the nucleus present on the surface will be attracted only from one side. Hence, due to the surface terms, due to the number of nucleons present on the surface will decrease the binding energy, isn't it? Okay, whatever the nucleus present inside the nucleus will increase the binding energy. The number of nucleus present on the surface will decrease the binding energy. So the surface energy term will be gives the negative contribution. How much number of nucleons present on the surface will decrease the binding energy, isn't it? So the surface, what is the surface area of the sphere? 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square. Hence the energy term Es is proportional to r square. We know that r is equal to r naught a power 1 by 3. So r is equal to, so r square nothing but what? R naught square a power 2 by 3. Where r naught square is again a constant which is given by some as. So Es is equal to minus, because negative contribution. The number of nucleons present on the surface will decrease the binding energy, not increase the binding energy. So it is negative contribution. So Es is equal to minus As a power 2 by 3. This is the second term. So the second term is how much? Es is equal to minus As a power 2 by 3. We got this value, second one. That is surface energy term. Surface energy term will decrease the binding energy. So negative As, where As is the proportionality constant. Okay. Next similarly we have Coulomb energy term. So Coulomb energy term. See, what is Coulombic force? Coulombic force is between protons and protons. Already in the last class we said the Coulombic repulsive force. So the Coulombic repulsive force between the protons will decrease the binding energy, isn't it? Repulsion force. There is a repulsion force between the protons, nothing but what? Nucleus will be disturbed. So the binding energy of the protons will be decreased due to the Coulombic energy term. Okay, Coulombic repulsive force. This Coulombic repulsive force is directly proportional to potential energy. Okay, this Coulombic repulsive force is directly proportional to what? The electrostatic potential energy. The electrostatic potential energy that is given by 3 by pi q square by r. This is the Coulombic. This is the electrostatic potential energy. So the Coulombic energy EC is directly proportional to the Coulombic force. Here q square is nothing but what? Our E square. Okay. So EC is directly proportional to this value. This value can be written as Z into Z minus 1 into E square by R square, or simply Z square E square, because here we are taking electron, the charge of the electron E square. So Z square E square by R square, by modifying we get EC is equal to some minus, okay, some minus AC EC is equal to minus AC Z into Z minus 1 whole power. Here R by R is nothing but what? R naught a power 1 by 3, isn't it? This is a constant, we know it. So we will get a power 1 by 3. A power 1 by 3. So the Coulombic energy is given by minus AC Z into Z minus 1 a power 1 by 3. It is inversely proportional to a power 1 by 3. This is directly proportional to A. And it is directly proportional to a power 2 by 3. It is inversely proportional to a power 1 by 3, mass number. Okay, so EC is equal to minus AC Z by Z into Z minus 1 by a power 1 by 3, a power 1 by 3. So EC, we got EC is equal to minus AC Z into Z minus 1 whole power 1 by 3. Like that, we got the next value, Coulombic energy term. Next we have asymmetric energy term. Okay, asymmetric energy term. Asymmetric energy term. Asymmetric energy term is represented by what? ER. Okay, what is asymmetry? We know that the number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus, if the number of protons is equal to number of neutrons, n is equal to z, that nucleus is stable. Okay, that nucleus is not stable. If you take the nucleus, the number of protons equal to number of neutrons, that nucleus is stable. If the number of neutrons are more greater than the number of protons, then what happens? Automatically the stability of the nucleus will be decreased. The binding energy will be decreases, isn't it? If number of protons is equal to number of neutrons, then the nucleus is stable. If the number of neutrons are more than the number of protons, what happens? The stability of the nucleus will be decreases. The binding energy will be decreases. So we know that the mass number A is equal to what? Number of protons Z plus number of neutrons N. From this, N is equal to A minus Z. Number of neutrons is equal to A minus Z. If number of neutrons are more than, that is number of neutrons are equal to A minus Z, if the number of neutrons are more compared to the protons, nothing but A, we have to minus. Number of neutrons are A minus Z and number of protons are Z. If we subtract number of neutrons minus number of protons, we will get excess number of neutrons. So A minus Z will give A minus 2Z. Okay, A minus 2Z. So here energy term is whatever the asymmetric energy term is inversely proportional to mass number. As the mass number increases, number of neutrons increases, binding energy decreases. So ER is inversely proportional to A and it is given by like this: A minus 2Z whole square by A. Or simply ER is equal to minus AR A minus 2Z whole square by A. Okay, like that we can give this value. ER is equal to minus AR because minus negative. Here the binding energy decreases as mass number increases. That's why it is inversely proportional to A. That value is given by here. ER is equal to minus AR A minus 2Z whole square by A. Okay, this is the asymmetric energy term. Okay, next we have pairing energy term. Last one, pairing energy term. Pairing energy term can be given by EP. See, if the nucleus having even number of protons and even number of neutrons, that is stable nucleus. It is given by even number of protons Z, even number of neutrons N. Then the value is positive. A power minus 3 by 4. The value of EP is given by A power plus A power minus 3 by 4. If the number of electrons and protons and neutrons, if the protons and neutrons are even, if protons and neutrons are even, then A power minus 3 by 4. If it is odd, it is minus A power minus 3 by 4. If it is even or odd even, the value is 0. If it is even or odd even, nothing but number of protons and number of neutrons are even number, then the value is plus A power minus 3 by 4. If it is even odd, it is minus A power minus 3 by 4. If it is even or odd even, it is 0. So the pairing energy term will be contribute like this. So at last we got EP is equal to plus or minus EP or E delta. We can also write as E delta or EP. So EP or E delta is equal to chronicle delta plus or minus AP A power minus 3 by 4. So this is the pairing energy term. Like that, we got all the energy terms combining, we will get EP value. So the EP value is given by now. So EP is equal to how much? EP is equal to first volume energy term AB into A plus minus AS A power 2 by 3. Next minus AC Z into Z minus 1 A power 1 by 3 Coulombic energy term. Then after asymmetric energy term AR A minus 2Z whole square by A. Next pairing energy term plus or minus AP A power minus 3 by 4. So this is the EP value. Binding energy correction term. See, this is our binding energy correction term. Now, if you substitute this value in this equation 1, we get the nuclear actual mass of the nucleus is ZNPA is equal to ZNP plus NMN minus AB A plus AS A power 2 by 3 plus AC Z into Z minus 1 A power 1 by 3 plus AR A minus Z A minus 2Z whole square by A plus or minus AP A power minus 3 by 4. So this is the last expression. This is our semi-empirical mass formula. This is our semi-empirical mass formula. Is it clear? So like that we can find the semi-empirical mass formula. Simple. The total mass is ZNP plus NMN, but there is a correction term minus EP. That EP is EA plus ES plus EC plus ER plus EP. Okay, by finding all those values and substitute, you will get semi-empirical mass formula. Very simple. This completely, it is a long answer. Explain liquid drop model and obtain semi-empirical mass formula. Already previously asked question compulsory. It will become in your semester exam. Okay, ma'am. Be concentrate. Watch this video carefully up to last and complete your notes and send to me by the evening 4 p.m. Okay. Thank you.